Welcome. We are going to work with measuring today. So this is my 11 by 14 mixed media paper, and we are going to measure thumbnails out. So I have two different stainless steel rulers. One goes up to 24 inches, it is cork back. I also have another one that is smaller, that is 12 inches. We will not be able to use it for this particular paper because it's too small for it. But just some information behind this, I wanted to show this to you guys, is if you do look at the 1 inch, it starts at the very edge. So you will be counting from the 1 inch from the edge into each of the other inches. Now the difference between this one here is you can tell that actually the 1 inch begins a little bit after at the end of the ruler itself. So 1 inch begins again at this portion here, so the 1 full inch. Just to see the difference between the two. Okay, so as we start, you can get several thumbnails on here. There's different ways to measure, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 by 5 measurements, and we're going to have a ½ inch between each of these. Now this is 14 inches by 11 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ruler not at the very edge of the paper, it's going to be actually where that 1 inch begins. And I'm going to put it towards the very top. And I'm just going to mark where that ½ inch is at. And so again, with looking at a ruler, you have the 1 full inch, and so this would be a ½ inch. Then I'm going to go ahead and count 4 of these. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I land at the 4½. And I just counted up an inch. So I'll end at 4½, and it will go to 5. Then again, I want to have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end at 9. Then I want to have a ½ inch in between. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes me right up to 13½, so perfect. Okay, so I went ahead and made my marks. I want to make my marks straight in alignment with the line of these measurements. Just because if I make dots or I make horizontal lines, it's going to be hard for me to guide the ruler. Now I'm going to do the very bottom, so I went ahead and made some guides. I'll do the exact same thing towards the bottom portion. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end at 4½. 5, I begin again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end at 9. Then I have a ½ inch between 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end at 13½. So now I have these guides, these lines. And what I'm going to do now is just use my ruler to line them up and draw a straight line through the entire sheet of paper. Okay, so now I have these rows, you could say, or these columns, so to speak. And now what I want to do, these again are 4, 4, and 4. I want to now make 5. So in this case, when I measure, with this paper, if you are using this particular mixed media paper, you want to look at the perforated edge area and always start at the perforation. Don't start at the very beginning because we basically lose this area since it's part of the spiral bound. So again, you want to look where that perforation begins, and then that is where your measurement is. So I see that this is 11 inches, and it's going to be 5 inches for 2 of them. What I can do is I can have a ½ inch on both the top and the bottom to equal my 5 for each of them. So I'm going to make a straight line again, and I can go ahead and then make a mark at 5. Then I want to have a 1/2 inch again between that, so that'd be 5.5. And then I have my last portion, which is 5 again, and that ends at the very end. Another way to go, if you do not want to have space in between here, you can go ahead and just erase that. And you can go ahead and keep a straight line between the 5, and at the very end you could have a 1/2 inch. Again, it's up to you. There's so many ways you can go with measuring this. I will go ahead and have my 1/2 inch on the top and at the bottom. So then I go to the opposite side and I mark my 2 areas that have a 1/2 inch. And I need to make that 5-inch area as well. Okay, so here are my thumbnails, and this is a way that you can go. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in that space. Thank you.